Today we are discussing about loops. So what is loops? In Java, loops is used to iterate a part of program several times. Suppose we have to print 1 to 10 table. We have use only one loop, and inside loop we have printed every multiplication number. So we don't have to write 10 lines. Instead of 10 lines we have to write only one line, and the condition will be 1 to 10. This is structure of for loop. So loops are various types like for loop, while loop, do while loop. So what is for loops? Whenever we are using for loop, it means we have a fixed number of intervals that we have known. If we don't know the fixed number of intervals, we don't use for loop. What is while loop? While loop means whenever the number of iteration is not fixed, it is recommended to use while loop. What is do while loop? When the number of iteration is not fixed, and also we have to execute the loop at least once. Whenever we require such type of requirement, so then we use do while loop. So we have for loop, we have while loop, and we have do while loop. So inside for loop, this is our structure of for loop. Suppose this is our first, this is second, this is third. Three fields. First field is called initialization of variable. Second field is called condition, by which it can be iterated upon next iteration. And this is increment or decrements. Suppose how much will be incremented by previous one, or how much it will be decremented by previous one, is defined here. This is a simple code like for int I equal to 1, I lesser equal to 10, I plus plus. Means this is initialization part, this is condition, and this is our increment part. So whenever I is equal to 1, print I. Suppose 1, next iteration I will be incremented 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whenever I is 11, this condition will don't satisfy, so the flow will be outside the loop. This is a structure of for loop. What is infinite loop? Whenever the condition is not mentioned, suppose only this semicolons are there, for three fields 2 semicolons are there, this is our infinite loop. So when we use while loop, suppose there is an example that we have to swap two values of first and last values, or we have to reverse a reverse a name or reverse a number. Suppose we have to reverse a name, we have to reverse a name of characters. So there is I will be started at 0th position and j will be started at last position, and two values will be swapped. After that I will be incremented and j will be decremented. So we don't know what will be that condition that I and j will be equal. So we put inside while loop that I less than j, and inside that we put our code that swap and incremented I and j decremented, so that whenever I is incremented towards j or incremented by j, or I will be greater than j, the while loop will be breaked, and we our required reverse name of characters will be printed.